Okay, we're going to go to Marcus in Perrysburg. Dear Bishop Thomas.
Thanks, Marcus.
Vatican I occurred in 1870, stating the doctrine of infallibility when the Holy Father speaks of issues about morality and faith. Can you explain what this means for the faithful when the Holy Father speaks on these issues? What does this mean? If I disagree with the Pope at all, are there any other issues outside the scope of morality and faith where there can be disagreement with the Holy Father? Thanks, Marcus.
So I guess, Marcus, for the sake of people, this is something that non-Catholics point to all the time, but it's simply important for us to recognize the Catholic reality of the infallibility of the one who holds the office of Peter. So it belongs in a special way to the Pope as the head of the bishops. Go to Matthew 16, 17 to 19, John 21, 15 to 17. As Vatican II teaches, it is a charism the Pope enjoys in virtue of his office when, as supreme shepherd and teacher of all the faithful, who confirms his brethren in the faith, he proclaims by a definitive act some doctrine of faith or morals. So notice the careful language. You, in a way, reverse it, Marcus. You say morality and faith, but the language of the Church is the doctrine of faith and morals. Therefore, the definitions are not from the consent of the Church. They're held to be irreformable, for they're pronounced with the assistance of the Holy Spirit and assistance promised to him, promised to blessed Peter. So that's infallibility in the area of faith and morals. Now you ask, well, what does this mean if I disagree with the Pope at all? Well, if you disagree with the Pope on faith and morals, then you have a serious issue, because Catholics are called to assent to whatever is infallibly taught. That's very clear. Then you ask, are there any issues outside the scope of morality and faith where there can be disagreement with the Holy Father? So, Marcus, it's a great question. People ask something like this all the time. Let me give you two practical answers, okay? For example, Pope Emeritus Benedict chose to wear a white cassock after he resigned and abdicated the papacy. Now, I personally, Marcus, disagree with that decision, because I think in a media world today where everything is visual, to see two men in a white cassock gives you the idea that we have two popes. I disagree. I love Pope Benedict. I love his writings. I met him. I love the man. But I disagree that he decided to wear a white cassock. Now, there's nothing about that says that's a matter of faith and morals, and I can disagree that he chose to wear the white cassock because that's my opinion. It has nothing to do with faith and morals, and it has something to do only with the color of the cassock that he's wearing. I hope that's clear, huh? And then the other one I would give is people who disagree, for example, with Pope Francis. They disagree that he doesn't wear the loafers that so many popes before him used to wear, and instead Pope Francis chooses to wear black, regular, quote, black street shoes. Now, that doesn't make those people or me any less Catholic because we disagree with what the Pope has chosen to wear, which has nothing to do with faith and morals and everything to do with their sartorial choices. How's that for a 50-cent word?
There you
Ron?
go. It's a good word.
So I hope that's helpful, Marcus. I think, is that clear, Ron?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if the Pope says the sky is orange,
well, that's the language that they always use. And of
Right?
course, we know if the Pope is a reasonable person, which we trust he is, the
Right.
Pope is never going to say that.
Right.
And if he says the sky is orange, we don't have to agree because the color of the sky has nothing to do with faith and morals.
Yeah, exactly.
But I chose to use a practical example, even about the Pope's garments.
Yeah, your example's better.
Thank
Much
you.
better.
Okay.